Hey, what's going on, good people? What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? Whoa, wait. Let me tell you, boy. I tell you, we got some outside jokes, some things that we do on the side. But hey, guess what? It is
We're
Wednesday.
here.
It's
We here.
wind down Wednesday.
It's Wind Down Wednesday, and we back up in here. And good to see everybody. Good to see everybody back. Welcome back, Shanice.
Yes.
The road, I'm sure, has been extremely rough along the way because I don't think we've seen you since Christmas or before Christmas or Thanksgiving or something like that.
It's been a while. Wind down Wednesday. What's up, everybody? Listen, it be periods where we missing in action, but I ain't going nowhere. We've been doing this thing for over 5 years, and I'm Tuck Radio through and through. So, I had a period where I got sick back in some time, and then I had all the kids, so I had to, what I'm saying, dip out. It's basketball season, so I have not been around because my daughter plays at the exact same time that we have Wind Down Wednesday. So it's loud in there. Sometimes I can pull away from there, sometimes I can't. But I missed you guys definitely. But I ain't going nowhere. I'm here. Um, the winter months are here. I got a little sick, but I'm good now. So missed everybody. Glad everybody's well, feeling well. Glad I'm well. So I'm back. I ain't going no. I ain't going nowhere. If you don't see me for it, something done popped off. But hey, I'm here. I'm in
We're
the
glad to
building.
see you back. Glad to see you back. What's up, AJ? Thanks for tuning in. Thanks
Yes,
for
definitely.
calling back with us. We might have to start if my schedule don't change up. I have to see how that goes. We probably have to start back doing this at 7 o'clock. I'm just trying
Hmm.
to do it a little earlier so we can get in and get
Get out.
out. But we might have to start back coming at 7 just for a short period of time
It's all right.
until we can get back to the 6 o'clock. So other than that, how your week been, Netta?
It's been great. No complaints here. Working, just regular schedule. Working, come home. Work, come home. So yeah, it's been good though.
Hey, you gotta figure out something else in between there.
Sandy, you be on the go. You be on the go. You hear me? I can't. I cannot.
Well,
It
it's
take a
like,
whole lot of gas.
hey, I gotta stay busy. I gotta
Hey,
keep it moving. Um, it's life has been good. My week has been wonderful. Today I didn't have to go to work, so I
oh,
kind of
it
laid
was
around and sat
so
around.
beautiful, so beautiful.
It
Yes.
was to do absolutely nothing, which was good. And then of course, I say what I do now is I really love doing it, but it's really a part-time job for me. That's what I call it. I work every day, but it's part-time because
Right.
it's good to be in a position where you can
You
just
can do that.
yeah,
Yeah, definitely. It's a blessing. It's
it
definitely a
is a
blessing.
blessing. So I've been truly
Mhm.
blessed. This week has been good. We only say it's Wednesday, but it got us to the hump. It's got us to the middle of the week. So the best is still yet to come. Um, some news along the way, front and back, but only God knows, and we just have to give it to Him and let Him do the rest of the work. But other than
Right.
that,
For sure.
my
Yeah.
life is fun and exciting. There's some things that I'm doing now. It's so hilarious. It's so funny. I mean, it's really hilarious, and it's like I'm having fun doing it. So we'll see what
Yeah.
happens. We'll see what
Yep.
happens. So it's about to be February.
Woo! Yes, basketball season is almost over. I'm so excited. They got a game next week, next Wednesday, so I may or may not be able to pop in with you guys, but the season's almost over with, so then, I'll totally fully be back. But I couldn't help myself but pop in today because my daughter's kind of resting her. She's not really injured, but she's having a little bit of joint pain. So we're resting that in this week. So of course she had to be there, but she's not playing today. So I was
Right.
like, yay, I get a little break.
Say now you can come because we thankful and grateful for you. Hold on, wait a minute. But see, you don't fit into that category of Pisces, AJ. But happy birthday Friday. I don't know what you're
Oh,
doing.
happy
Plan on
birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy early birthday.
birthday. How you gonna be? How you gonna be, AJ? You don't want to tell your age. We understand. 'Cause everybody don't need to know how old we are because half the time we don't look old our age because black don't crack.
For
That's
sure.
why I
But
like telling
it
mine.
don't crack. It don't crack, but it'll swell.
Shut your mouth, girl. You ain't no 59.
Woo, that's what's up.
You better stop
That's
lying.
beautiful.
You better
Yeah.
stop lying. You ain't no
Blessings.
59.
So you got some blessings and some lessons. Yes,
Girl, some
ma'am.
blessings and some lessons, So happy birthday to you. Enjoy
Yes.
it to the fullest. Um, life is only,
1964. That's right.
Go ahead, woman.
1964. Well, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. But
Happy
enjoy
birthday.
it, girl. Enjoy. It's like, Nana was saying I'm on the go all the time. I'm not on the go all the time, but I try to be busy, Um,
Sandy,
you are
when do
welcome.
you
You are welcome,
Yes,
AJ.
definitely. You're welcome.
Sandy, when do you sit down, woman?
I'm
When?
sitting down now.
You wind down Wednesday, but soon as it's over with, you on the go.
I'm sitting down now. I'm sitting down,
She
enjoying
got
me
an eye. She got an eye.
That's
cranberry
it.
juice.
That's
Even,
it.
even after this, I got some. Even after this, I'm gonna be busy, but I don't have to go nowhere. But I'm gonna be busy. So, busy is good. It ain't bad busy. It's good busy.
Busy
Yeah.
is productive.
It's
Yes.
very productive, and what I'm doing these days is very productive, and I'm having fun, and I'm enjoying doing it. Being retired is has its privileges. So especially when you really by yourself, you don't have to worry about baggage, or when I say baggage, worry about somebody else coming with you, or worrying about making sure that the dog is taken care of, or you know my daughter is good, because when I can roll by myself solo, which is what I do a lot.
Yeah.
So it's been exciting. So let's get down to the nitty gritty. Let's talk about it. Let's see what's going on. So earlier in the conversation, before we got on and we were laughing, there are a lot of things that we laugh about, a lot of things that we talk about. But there's a lot of stuff that's going on in the world. But why is it that men cannot handle what women can handle? Case in point, if a man, okay, let me do this. Let me say this. If I was married, okay, when I was married, let's use my marriage. Let's use me. Let's use me as an example. So if I cheated and I got pregnant and it wasn't my husband's baby, what you all think would happen? Well,
Is it as easily right? Is it as easily forgiven? Is it as easily accepted as it is for a woman to accept that same scenario?
of course,
I don't think it is.
no, of course not. The thing about this is what I say, and I say it all the time. Relationships are very difficult, but you got to work on both sides of both ends to make it happen. It just one person can't do it. It'll never be no 50-50. It'll never be a 50-50 in anybody's relationship, marriage, or whatever.
No.
People married 50, 40, 60, 10, 5, whatever years.
Yeah.
It'll be 50-50. And people need to stop thinking it's going to be 50-50. It's going to be always an odd number or uneven number, or
for sure. And
it
should be, because the seasons are they change, and different things change. You might be up well, it might not be well. How can you
right.
still be 50 if you know what I'm saying? So it'll never. You're right. 50-50s. That's terrible. I hate when people say that.
Yeah, it's like it's a 50-50. It's not a 50-50. Because I look at the fact that the man the other day killed his wife. For what reason? Why did he kill his wife? The lawyer, the prominent lawyer down in North Carolina, why did he kill his wife and son? There would never, you have to, why? Things happen. So it had to be no 50-50. Couldn't have been no 50-50.
No, not at all.
Couldn't have been a 50-50. So what happened, and why did it happen, and why do men think that we as women should accept it if they do it? But
they can't accept it if we do.
Oh, they done put us in hell and we can't even come back.
Always.
Yeah. It's a double standard, and when you're talking about sex and the opposite sex, it's always been a double standard. It's just been like that since the end of time, which is terrible. But yeah, I agree with you 1,000%. I don't think that they can't take what's being dished out. They definitely can't take what's being dished out. If the same thing was dished out that they dished out, they wouldn't be able to take that.
Oh no, they can't take it. Because at the end, here's my thing. I don't like sharing my man. I'm sorry, I don't like sharing. What woman likes sharing her man? I don't know. I don't know of a woman. Well, there are some.
But so then you call that something different. You can't call that relationship. You know what I mean? That's a different. That's in a different category.
I don't know. I don't know because I disagree. The only reason why I disagree is because people accept threesomes in their marriage, in their relationships. They accept it.
Well, that's a different category. That ain't a category I'm in.
But they're right, but they're in a relationship or marriage, and that's just something that they consider or they want to do. But it's accepted on both ends. I would say it's accepted on both ends. But then when
Well, it has to be if it's happening. Yeah, I mean.
But when one has more pleasure than the other one, then what?
It's a problem. It will always be a problem because that's not necessarily how the order.
But I don't. That's why I said I don't like sharing. I'm not, even if I'm in just a relationship, not a marriage or a committed relationship or whatever. I'm not trying to share my
sharing ain't caring in that aspect. You know, somebody can get themselves hurt, and that's not just emotionally. That's mentally. That's physically. All of the above. So yeah, no, we don't do sharing.
Yeah, I don't think I want to. Well, I know I don't want to. I know I think I want to. I don't want to. I don't do that. You know, it's like, you know. But
she had to pull that one back.
Right.
Yeah. No, I know that for a fact. But it's so easy for men to share their body parts or whatever. Men have breakdowns. Let me tell you why. Let me tell you how I know. And it's so silly to well, sometimes it is. So y'all know I like to dance, I like to have a good time, you know, wherever I go, whatever I'm just like to have a great time. So I broke it. Y'all know how I drop it down. Like if I drop it down, I'll drop it down.
For the party, baby. Life for the party.
I dropped it down and it wasn't nothing. No intentions, no nothing, no zero. Why they get mad? Because I dropped it down on somebody else, but somebody I knew though. But it ain't like I'm going home with him or he going home with me. It's like I know him. Now, my friend didn't know him, but I knew him, and it wasn't nothing like. And so when he saw me, he come around the corner, he see me breaking it down. You know, I'm all, you know, feeling kind of good and everything. You know, totally forgot that I even broke it down with a friend, somebody that I knew, right? So when the conversation took place, it was like, hey, Taj, what's going on, girl? Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for tuning in. This is how we know this is how we know they have meltdowns. So when he came around the corner, he saw me drop it, boom, boom. And then, you know, when he asked me about it, and I was like, I ain't do, you know, because I ain't thinking nothing of it because of who the person was.
And then that's just not how you, if anybody know you, that's just not you anyway.
Right. Because I ain't gonna drop it down on a stranger that likes me or that wants to with me or that want to get. I'm not gonna do that. But then too, yeah, you know, I'll blame it on too a little bit, just a little bit, you know, just a little bit. But the reason why I say I had a little bit, because I totally forgot I did that because it didn't mean nothing to me. You know, it didn't mean a thing to me, nothing in the world. But then he has a sucker attack. He had a breakdown. You know, you did this. I saw you do that, and then you said you didn't do it. Well, heck, I forgot because it didn't mean nothing to me. It didn't mean, so when it finally came back to me, I was like, "Oh, you're talking about so and so? Oh, I know him." You know, but that ain't what you said. I mean, why do they have so many? Why? Because I don't feel like that should have been a sucker attack. It's like, okay, I'm telling you what happened, and I'm telling you it didn't mean nothing, but you still want to try to say, but you knew, and then you're gonna say you didn't, and you gonna do that. I was like, oh my Lord Jesus, some things you just cannot explain enough about what it didn't mean. So it's like, why do they go through so much more, and they have so many sucker attacks? I'm gonna call it a sucker attack. But then when they do it, it's no big deal. They expect us to be like, well, this is what I said to you. And then I want this, so this is what you better believe. Why is that?
Now, I think me personally, I think that I would be a little bit looking sideways if my man, and say not marriage, but just I'm dating somebody or whatever. We out and he dropped it down on somebody. I'll be looking at him crazy. Like
Mm-hmm.
we're gonna have a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So we had the conversation. And I didn't remember at first. Because I was,
But
but
see,
then
it was embedded
I
in
think.
his head. Like, yeah, I gotta talk to her about that.
Yeah, I gotta remember that. But I
Yeah.
think too. I mean, I would. I feel what both of y'all said, but I think too. It's definitely conversation because everything's about communication, right? And so you never when you're dating or whatever the situation may be, you never want to put the person that you're with in a box, you know. And so, but you do want to express how you feel. Like if that made you, and I with you, Ned, I'd have been looking like, what in the world, like. What's what was up with that? Like,
Right,
I
right.
know you got a bubbly personality. I know you like talking to people, but for me that I would have to express how I felt. That felt like that was a little extra. It probably what didn't mean nothing, but for me, like I felt uncomfortable. I felt like, you know what I'm saying, for you to be my lady or be with me or my guy or whatever, you know what I mean? For me that was inappropriate, and I just would express it however it was that I felt, and hopefully I'm pretty sure the conversation probably went that way. But then once you're trying to learn that person's personality, you kind of know, like, okay,
Hmm.
this it really wasn't done in malice, or this is just the person's personality. Because to put a person in a box that's bubbly and that's, what I'm saying, all of us are opposites. All of us don't perform the same. We don't think the same. We weren't raised the same. And so you have to be clear about communicating what you feel, but not make that person feel like they got to change who they are.
point. And my thing is, the conversation took place. We did have a conversation. We did talk. But at the end of the day, the thing about it is, I'm trying to tell you, to me, it didn't mean nothing. But, you still want to this day, I believe they still hold that to this day. I'm not absolutely positively sure, but I can guarantee it. I can put a dollar on it and I don't bet, but they are still holding that, she did this and she did that, but it didn't mean nothing. I'm trying to tell you, because first of all, I forgot all about it because it didn't mean nothing to me. And y'all know how I am. I just break down and let the song,
Yeah.
you know, and it don't mean nothing. Then I'm gonna walk on around the corner and go on back to where I came from. But it's like, why have a meltdown and then why try to still hold that? And once I explained it to you, and that's the thing. They expect us to let it go. They expect us, if they explain it to us, well, it didn't mean nothing and she didn't mean nothing, and I know her from 50 years ago. They expect us to just say, okay, fine, no big deal. And most of the time in a situation or something like that, we probably would if it didn't mean
Hmm.
anything. But if I'm going to keep seeing you drop it down, or if I'm going to keep seeing you, looking at them and grinding and doing all that, now, Houston, we got a problem.
Right,
If it's the same person, we going to have a problem. But if
right.
it's just that one time, and if it's that one person, and you ain't, it ain't happening,
It's called an isolated incident, you know.
isolated.
But I mean that again, when you're dating or when you're in a relationship with anybody, having that conversation is important because people are triggered by different things, and you, like as you were saying, you were dating, so you don't know what happened in relationships in the past that may have triggered something for him, or etc. We don't know. Those are conversations that you have to have, but talk it through, talk it out. Let's move it on.
My thing too is that it's a give and take, and you got to understand, and
Absolutely.
you got to know that person. You have
Right.
really,
Grace,
and
grace and forgiveness will get you a long way.
yes, it's a give and take. Grace, mercy, and favor will take you a long way in a relationship in life. And then, like you said before, I was talking to somebody the other day, and the thing that they said to me is that communication is key with them. I was like, well, you ain't said nothing but a word. Listen, I would sit up, lay up, and we can have all kind of conversations. What you want to talk about? That's one thing that I'll never have to worry about is if you ask me, I'm gonna tell you.
Right.
I'm not gonna keep no secrets. I'm me. What you see is pretty much what you get. Just don't get on my bad side, and we ain't gonna have to worry about it.
Mhm.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
sandpaper come out, and we ain't trying to make that come out.
That thing gonna sandpaper.
Trying to, trying to keep
No, we don't want no parts of that one.
We don't.
none
We
at all.
don't. We don't.
Nobody does. You know, we all
Nope.
have a don't get on my bad side. You know what I'm saying? Personality or reaction. Like, foolishness is just gonna be what it is. Time is foolery.
Right.
Either it can be worked out or it can't. It's just pretty much that simple.
Pretty much that simple. So life is what it is. It's a give and take, and with whatever we do and however we do it, it's always a give and take. Even in friendships, with girlfriends, sisterhoods, and even with families, siblings, and it's a give and take. So it's how you do it, and it's when you do it, and what else is going on with it. So God has been good though to all of us. We're still here. I did ask the question earlier. If you're married, who comes first in your marriage? My thing too is, so what happened? This is another question. So what if you got kids? What if that person has kids and you marry them? Do their children come first in the marriage?
Not supposed to.
Or it's a whole lot of things that's not supposed to happen, but it does.
Facts.
So
Right.
what, especially when marriage and relationships take place. Now, so who comes first then? You got the children, you got the mama, you got the daddy, you got the wife, and you got the husband. Y'all married. Y'all married. I was married for 21 years. Y'all married. So in your marriage, looking at it now, who number one? Is it you, the mama, or the step kids? If you got step kids. Both of y'all don't have step kids, but
I do.
I know you do. That's
I
my
have
whole
step
thing,
kids. Right. I got it. So my sister is in that situation to whereas she's in a marriage. They both have their own separate kids, none together. But her oldest son stay with her. And him and the husband gets into it because he feeling like, you grown, you need to, be on your own. But my sister wanna cradle him because she feels sorry for him or whatever her reasons are, you know. And so I was trying to explain to her that your kids, your husband come first. And she was like, no, these my kids and blah, blah, blah. Now she the oldest sister. So I'm like, oh God. I'm like, your problem is you allow your kids to be too much and have too many opinions in your relationship. And that should not be like, no. So the marriage is really not working out, but I think it's mainly because of Jackie not allowing him to be the man in the marriage. So
Yeah. So for
what do
me, it's
you
the same thing. God first, obviously, and then um my husband. Because what happens is, I have a friend. We have friends, really, really, really close friends. They got a blended family, and she got four, he got four, so they got eight together, and it's a very big blended family, and so um you have. And I have cousins, same thing, it's blended family, and it's a large amount of them, and it's like with my cousin, it's so seamless because they respect her husband. you know, um, that precedence was just set there. That if you and your husband on the same page, the kids gotta basically fall in line. But if you put your kids up there before, what I'm saying, it's always gonna be chaos. And so
hmm
you have to set those standards and those guidelines, those boundaries, regardless of whether your kids are younger or whether they're grown, so that they know where it is that they stand. Because at the end of the day, when they're gone, your spouse is gonna be there. You know what I mean? So they're gonna be going on their merry way, doing whatever they grow up and have their own, and it's gonna be you and your spouse. And so, yeah, I just believe that the order is what it should be. God, you can get married, your husband, yeah, and then everything else after that. So
Yeah, I agree.
So no particular order with mom or children or anything like that. It's just that it's you, it's you, and then everybody else.
Yeah, in my opinion, yeah. I mean, I don't feel like you leave your parents to cleave to your husband or your wife. And so, maybe if they are married or they aren't married, like that's not your parent is gonna always be a parent, but it's it's different now that you're somebody's husband or you somebody's wife. Well, it should be. It's not always the case. We all know that, but it should be. I love my mom and love. I don't we there's a I'm type where if I know we're going to pick her up, I will sit in the back. I know I don't have to, but I just do because I love her, and it's just a respect thing. She'll never say, "Oh, why come she's sitting in the back?" Or she say, "No, you don't sit in the back. You go ahead and sit up in the front." We just had that type of relationship, but I just had that type of respect for her, and she had that type of respect for me. So it's never been anything. And then too, I think it makes a difference if the parent is married. That makes a grave difference, because they understand too marriage and relationship. Whereas somebody who their parents are maybe not, you know, either single parent or, got a boyfriend, is not the same as, that relationship as being in a marriage. So she understands because she been married 30 some plus years. So it's never been that type of battle where I had to battle with her like I'm your wife and that's your mama. Like that's not been an issue. But I know people who have had knockdown dragouts and it's become ugly.
But that's because they allow it. Here we go with allowing things to happen in a relationship or allowing things to happen in a marriage. When people allow things to happen. Now, I was never the kind that I would hover. I was not a hover wife. I don't believe in hovering. I believe in trusting the person that I'm with.
Right.
Wherever you go and whatever you do, I'm trusting that you're going to do the right thing. You're going to make the right decisions. That's what I'm doing. I'm not going to be hovering. And every time and I'm on the phone, what you doing? Where you at? And then I'm calling you at 7:00, 7:05, you don't answer. Then my brain is like, I'm trusting you. But that's what happens in relationships. That's what should happen in relationships. You should trust somebody. You should have an understanding about what's going on. You and my got to understand, y'all know what time it is. She know what time it is. Y'all been around each other for a long period of time. So it is a thing about respect. I still to this day respect my mother-in-law, and I still call her my mother-in-law because, that's 20 some years that we had together, that we knew each other. So I still call her my mother-in-law, I call her mom. So when she came here, it's a mutual respect. You respect those that you have been around forever. So I would do the same thing that you did, get in the back seat, let her sit in the front. There's no, what do I need to explain about
It's
that?
not a big right. That's not a big deal. Like
It's an understanding, because Netta was talking about earlier when her dad was sick and she had to take care of him, although she wasn't married then, it would have been, I would have loved to see how, or to hear about how it would have, if it would have affected, because TD is a good guy, how, if it would have affected your marriage, how you took care of your dad, and you weren't never home.
I
Because
mean, from my experience with him now, I think that he would join me a lot,
right.
versus just allowing me to do it all on my own. He would come and spend that time too. I don't think he would have did it all the time, but I think he would have did it a lot.
I can relate to you 1,000% that because my dad passed away also. He had cancer as well.
Yeah.
And I hear him and I was married and he came right alongside and we took care of my dad together. I mean, I was there holding his hand till he took his last breath. So I totally understand, but I guess the dynamics of people, when things happen, none of us plan sicknesses or illnesses, things happening. So it's like in a marriage, you come alongside that person and you try to support them. And, it's already enough that I had to be losing, my parent, and he's never faced that, so to be battling on why you over there so long and all that, like, that's not where my head was at that time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I can agree with you that your husband would have came alongside you as well. I mean, we would take my dad food. We went and cleaned his apartment together. You know what I mean? Like it was, when you don't know what you're gonna do until you have to face it at that time. I'll just put it that way.
Yeah.
But it comes with being that, once again, it's about being in a totally comfortable, understanding relationship or marriage. That's where it comes from. My thing is, All I want right now is to be in a whole totally fully committed relationship. I ain't asking for nothing else. I just need to know and feel like I'm in that committed relationship. That's all I want to do. I don't want to have to, because I went through this twice. When somebody passed away in your family, then they can't be there to support you. Houston, that's a problem.
Yes, it is. Yes,
big problem.
Yes, it is.
I mean,
Because the shoe could be on the other foot. And how would it feel to you if I played you like you played me?
But
But I don't got time for that. You know what I'm saying?
But once again, the expectations is in a relationship or a marriage or whatever, the woman should be there. He's going to expect her to be there. But then on the other hand,
you can't expect him to be there. Right. Those same expectations have to be the same across the board.
Which is
I mean, it really is. It's a double standard in life and everything, and it's sad.
Nobody likes that. Nobody. What's going on, Amber? What's happening?
What's on it in?
Nobody likes that. Ain't not one person that likes that.
It's not fun. It's ugly.
It's not good. And so only people that probably like it are the funeral home people. Because that's how they make their money.
Well,
but I'm just saying.
But they don't like it in their family.
Yeah, they don't like it in their family.
Speak that.
In a relationship, like I said, it's a give and take, and you have to understand one another. If you don't have that understanding, it's gonna be a problem. And most of the times, men don't have the understanding that women have in a relationship. They don't. That's just my take on it. We as women give and take so much.
I would say their tolerance and their patience is totally different. Like you said, the whole having a baby thing, like that's a lot. That is a lot for any person, but that's a lot. Like as a woman, to know that you done been like how you supposed to just be with me, with somebody else, and you done create a whole child, like that's devastating.
Devastating. But if a woman does it, she cheats and have a baby. He ain't no way he gonna get
He ain't trying to hear nothing.
No second chances. He ain't giving her no second chance.
He ain't trying to nobody was blowing that back out, and no, none of that.
They can't handle those thoughts. They cannot handle those thoughts. And I understand that because we're women, we get ran up in versus, the man running up.
Well, I can't handle it either. Look, we don't want to handle it either, but we do. We just go different.
This is what I told my husband years ago about women. A lot of us are weak. And so when we get into our relationship, we love hard, we do all this and we do all that. So we can accept a lot more than men would ever be able to accept because our weakness start feeling bad for them, even though they the one that did the wrong. You know what I'm saying? Versus a man ain't feeling sorry for nothing. You cross him, he coming at you like, oh, peace, deuces, and out.
No tolerance.
I think it's so unfair.
No tolerance.
It is unfair. But we are so nurturing, sensitive, emotional creatures that even growing up, watching our moms and how they did our dads or how they did their boyfriends or whatever, watching them, and it's like we listening and we watching, and then it's like, well, this is what we're supposed to do. Where on the other hand, they don't think that they're supposed to do it because they have seen the very opposite of what we've seen, and they have gone through the very opposite of what we've gone through. Because at the end of the day, all three of us know, growing up, our moms probably said, this is what you do to take care of a man. This is what you're supposed to do to take care of a man. Now, on the other hand, you being a pimp because you're watching your granddaddy and your daddy do whatever they do. So you think it's okay. It's a generational curse. I'm gonna call it a generational curse. And maybe
it is.
But and then maybe
he got a whole nother family over here he take care of, but he take care over here too. But he take care of what I'm saying, your grandmama, we know grandmamas like that. Those was like grandmamas. Like he got a family over here, he paying over there, but he over here too. So as long as he take care over here, you know what I'm saying?
That wasn't my experience. I didn't have that experience. My grandmother raised me and my brother. So her husband had already passed by the time, we was born. I never saw her with another man. So men really wasn't really talked about. Then on the other hand, my mother, she would marry you in 2 weeks. If she don't like you, you out of there, buddy. So those is my experience. Like where I'm getting this weakness from, accepting stuff that really causes me trauma and pain within. I'm accepting this, but looking at my mom, like me and
Right.
my aunt talk about it all the time. My mother would drop you like it's hot and move on to the next. Move on quick.
See, I'm
But
like,
see, what was her experiences to do that? You
right.
know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? What was her experience to be like that?
We saw it somewhere when she was
Yeah.
growing up back in the day or something, because, which is how women down south, this is me growing up, were committed. My grandmother was committed to my granddad.
Right.
My mama was committed to who she was with at the
Yeah.
time. So I saw it, but then to have a family here and then you got a family over here,
Yep.
and you might not even know the family over there, but you got one, and that's
Mm.
your auntie or that's your uncle so and so, and you don't even know what's going on because men down south did that.
Right.
They had two families at one time,
Mm.
one on one side of town or one on the other side of town, one in
Yep.
this city, one in the other city. So growing up seeing that, and it's like, okay, so, but looking at my mom and looking at my grandmama take care of them from the head to toe, making sure that they were taken care of and good. Relationships now are nowhere near that.
No, they're not.
Nowhere.
And I grew up with a grandmother who she was married, and he went out and had a whole other family. It wasn't that she signed up and was okay with him having another family. He just did him. You know,
Mm.
she's like, I'm not going. She was strong in faith, and she's just like, look, I know my role, my commitment to God and to my marriage, and so, that was old school. They still took care of him, even though we feel like he ain't deserve it. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
He got all this
Absolutely.
XYZ going over here, go over there. But
Yep.
it's like that now, but it wasn't like that at that time.
And
I came from strong women with, I got a strong personality myself,
me too.
with what I'm willing to deal with and what I'm not. And I'm gonna speak up and say that, and that's never been a problem for me. So, it's just different now.
It's totally different. But once again, there you have to have that understanding in that relationship. You have got to have that understanding, and with understanding come communication.
That's
But
number one.
I'm just gonna tell you, I ain't sharing.
I'm not sharing either.
If you want to be shared, then this ain't the house you need to be in.
Exactly.
Because we ain't sharing over here.
This is my community property. I'm not my grandmama. We're not
No.
doing it.
I am not. And period. And I'm not.
If that better suits you, stay over there.
Yeah, this ain't the drop-in center.
No, exactly.
Mm-mm.
I'm cool. Mm-mm.
You ain't gonna have no family on the other side of town and one over here. I can't do that. I cannot do that. I refuse to do that.
That's a lot. I mean,
But
there ain't enough strongness in the world for me.
That's what I understand about people that do allow threesomes in a relationship. What I don't understand is when you have a threesome, okay, you good. But when he go out and cheat on you, you hurt. I don't understand that.
Make it make sense.
make it make
I can't. I'll be like, never mind.
Halfway.
make it make sense.
It's crazy.
But yeah, it is very crazy. And I've known people that they say everything's okay with having a threesome, but it's ugly after the fact, because either he go with her or she go with her, or he go with him or she go with him. All these different entities you bringing into it's chaos.
It's chaos. And why would you want to do that in your relationship if it's real, if it's true, if it's honest? It don't make sense. Make it make sense.
You can't, because it's foolery. It's foolishness. I mean, a person, you barely can please yourself. You know what I'm saying? Evaluating and looking at what you need to do self. It's a big job for me to take care of me, for me to focus on me, for me to, you know what I'm saying, do what I need to for me. So to try to worry about somebody else as a, you know what I'm saying, being a wife, as a husband, make sure I'm doing that. And then now we got a third party in there, and I'm making sure that those who doing fourth and fifth, like, it's too much.
It is. I mean, and that's why I don't understand how it's so much easier for men to do it, and they accept it and they say it's okay. But we got to juggle. We trying to juggle family, kids, us, the house, cooking to make sure everything good. But then, it's like
Hot plastic.
it's for them. It's so easy. That's why it's so easy for them to accept the fact that it's okay if they do it, but I'll be darned if you do it, because they gonna have a mental breakdown. And ain't no coming back. They wouldn't. I refuse to say that, because I'm telling you, had I gotten pregnant in my marriage, there is no way that my ex would have given me a second chance like I gave him. Learned the lessons learned. There's no way. I know he wouldn't. No, he wouldn't.
It just would have been different. Period. Like being around and seeing another man's child grow in your belly. Like that's a hard pill to swallow.
It's the visualization about that man coming up inside me.
That too. Yep.
That's it.
I think on a pregnancy
girl.
I think on the pregnancy side, though, it would be really hard for him to lay down with his wife that is pregnant with another man.
He ain't gonna be in the house.
Right. He's not, because the thought of it is just,
it's
you know what I'm saying, devastating for that man. But if it was you dealing with another woman, you really don't have to see it because it's not inside the house, even though you know it. And I'm not saying that it's not devastating. I'm saying it's easier for it to, I guess, play out and me to be able to forgive you because I don't really have to see it every day versus me having to see your belly growing and that's not my child and you my wife.
It's hard for me either way because I'm like,
I mean, it would be hard for me either way too.
Yeah,
but I'm just making the common sense.
Oh
yeah. It would be devastating.
Yeah, it's devastating either way. You're right, but the double standard, you're right. But it's like I still gotta deal with another child that I'm gonna have to see. That you gonna have to go to hospital with her. You know what I'm saying? She gonna have to give birth, and she gonna expect you to be there with her, changing diapers and all this stuff. And I'm just sitting over here like, well, what time you gonna be here now?
Yeah, that would be hard.
Once again, the understanding in a relationship, I mean, the expectations of women understanding that compared to men understanding that. It is
but I don't even think it has anything about understanding. I think it has something to do with love. Women love harder and more than men inside their marriage or relationship.
Yeah. I agree.
We love so hard, we tend to trick our own mind into thinking like, I can get over it. You know what I'm saying? You might cry every night because of it, but because of the love that you have for the person, you don't know how to let that go.
That love, the LOVE bull.
Yeah. You don't know how to let it go.
And when we love hard, like you said. We love hard. And that's the only way we know how is to love hard. So listen, I'm waiting on Jesus.
I know that's right. Hey, repeat that. Say it again.
Yes, I'm waiting on Jesus. I know he loves me. Yes, honey, we do. Yes, Taj, we love hard.
Very hard. Very hard.
No. Even if you had the worst mother in the world, I still think, even growing up, women still love hard. We still, because it's in our nature. It's in us that we do that. If you look at TV, you see women loving hard. They love whoever it is. I mean, even through breakups, they love hard. Looking at, look at the movies. That woman is always loving her husband hard until something happens. But she loved him, so we do. It's just like, darned if we do, darned if we don't. But once again, I am waiting on Jesus. So in the meantime, I'll be waiting on Jesus. I'm having fun waiting on Jesus, though.
Hey, they need to submit their applications ASAP to JESUS.
I am having a great time waiting on Jesus. You're best to believe that. Listen, a good time. It's a whole lot of stuff. It's a lot, like, that's why I go a lot. That's why I'm always going somewhere all the time. And I don't have no problem with going by myself. But once again, I hang around married people. When you hang around people that's already in those committed relationships, that's always, we doing stuff together. I don't have an issue with being the odd person out. I really don't. I really like it. because I get to see the do's, the don'ts, the ins and the outs, and
Mhm.
how everybody else operate. Not saying that I'm gonna operate that way, but it's always good to see that. Okay, shoot, they ain't perfect. Yeah, they made a mistake too. Oh man, he loves her. Chivalry ain't dead. He opened the door for her. Man, she cooking for him every day because of this. So that's the stuff that I see with the couples that I hang out with, and I love it. I don't have no issue with it. So me being a 3-wheel, 3rd, 4th, 5, 6 wheel, I'm good with that. I am so good with that. But I'm still waiting on Jesus.
Which is gonna make it so much easier to adapt back into a wife lifestyle because you're around wives because you want to be a wife. You are a wife.
Well, God did say, man should not be on this earth by himself. Whether he married or not.
You attract what you're around, and so
Yep.
yeah.
And I ain't in no mess because my couple friends, my married friends, ain't in no mess. Ain't nobody beat nobody up, and ain't no alcoholics either. So it's all about business with my peoples, and that's what we do, and that's why I love them dearly, and I don't mind hanging out with them. In the movie, what's the movie? Best Man Holiday, Final, whatever.
Yes.
I'm Jordan. I'm Jordan in that movie. I'm Jordan.
Jordan was funny.
I'm Jordan. Jordan had it going on. Jordan focused on work, life and all that other stuff. Yeah, she might have, had some feelings for somebody, but it didn't pan out. So I'm Jordan.
All right then. But
ain't nobody in my group that I like. I mean, none of them. I don't like none of them. I just, I ain't that kind of Jordan where I still got yeah, I ain't like that. But
I know that's right.
But understand,
we know you, so we know exactly what you're talking about.
Exactly, which is again understanding, because my relationship with all my friends, they understand me, they know me, and they know how I am. So here we go back to the relationship piece. It's an understanding part, regardless of what kind of relationship it is. It's an understanding, and everybody understand me. So y'all would know that if you saw me just walking through somewhere and I dropped it down, y'all be like, "Yep,
that's Sandy." That's Sandy.
That's Sandy.
That is Sandy.
That's me, but don't mean nothing. I mean, a fine brother could walk up, and I break it down, and I just keep going. I mean, it don't mean nothing to me, So, hope prayerfully,
we'll be on the sidelines laughing, honey.
Yes. Get your sandals. We're gonna do this thing. Get your flip flops. Make sure you be there, and you be like, "Oh, there she goes. She done broke it down." Yep, drop it down like it's hot.
Hot.
Yep. And all we're gonna do is have a good time and laugh, like you said, from the sideline. Just keep laughing. Just keep rolling. Yes. Y'all know what it is. Y'all know what we do. Y'all know what time it is. It's a wind down Wednesday. We sitting here. Life has been good. God has been good, and I think the relationships that we have with each other is phenomenal and fantastic. And I think that you guys' marriage and relationships that you guys have with your husbands is phenomenal.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Keep being the example for others that you don't even know watching, because somebody is definitely watching.
Yes, ma'am.
Definitely watching. So be an example for somebody, even if they are watching. Be an example for them and those that aren't, that you don't know. So at the end of the day, we love y'all. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We're probably gonna go back to 7:00 because I am busy, at least all the way up until March. Now, when March comes, things gonna take a different turn because that's my birthday month.
And we're getting closer to daylight savings time. It'll be daylight outside. We'll be on location.
Yep, we'll be on location. We got to make it happen. Netta birthday coming up. Pisces in the building.
Oh,
building. It's about to go down. So, it's going down. So just stay tuned and look and watch and listen. It's going. All I know is going. February 18th is coming.
Hey, that's 2 days. That's 2 days before my daughter's. My daughter's is the 20th of February.
Well, actually, mine is the 21st.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, it's actually the 21st. We're having a party on the 18th.
Okay.
It's going down.
It's going down.
That'll be 50.
I'll go, woman.
I ain't scared.
50 weird. Look, 50 weird. 50 weird.
Yeah, we
Yes,
At my
just
age, love it, love it.
we just trying
I
to live
know.
a better, healthier,
I know that's right. Yes,
understanding life.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
and that's all we're trying to do. Live a better life, live a healthy life. And you know, we want everybody else to do the same thing too.
for
So in the
sure.
meantime, in between time, it's that time of day for us people.
Well,
To do
before
what
we
we
do our
do.
positive quotes, make sure all you guys, all our listeners, Tuck Radio, thank you so much. We appreciate you. We global. Always check out the Tuck Radio page. You can always wind us back. It's on Facebook. It's also YouTube. Wind it back. Listen, have a listening party, conversate, get in our inbox, ask questions. We love questions. We love interaction. So we thank you. We got stuff coming up, so make sure you always check that Tuck Radio page.
Please do, you know, and do what you do. I mean, you know, I need a haircut now. I need, you know, put something in it or do something. You know what I'm saying? Got to keep, you know, I got to keep that fresh look for the people. I
Sure.
got to keep the fresh look for the people. So, you know, when you doing stuff, it's like, and I wear them hats in the wintertime, it's like keep my ears covered up. But yes, we do have a lot of things going on. Pay attention to what's happening because we will be on location coming soon. So be looking forward to that. We love you all. If we celebrating birthdays, we celebrating life. We celebrate every day because tomorrow is not promised. So do what you need to do
Sure.
and enjoy yourself and be happy. Because right here at Tuck Radio, we're gonna be happy. We agree to disagree some of the time, not all the time, but guess what? At the end of the day, we still love each other. So what's your positive quote, Netta?
Every day that you wake up, capable of opening your eyes, praise God.
Oh, I love that. Yes, yes, honey. Thank you, Lord. Yeah, I'm gonna piggyback on that. Every day on this side of the dirt is a second chance, so take advantage of your second chance and the 24 hours you get.
Let me go on and jump in on that too. And I'm gonna say, in all things, give thanks. I don't care what it is. It don't matter what it is, but in all things, give thanks. And y'all know me, positive in, positive out. But at the end of the day, it's always better to give than it is to receive. And we'll see y'all on the next one. Later.
Bye.